totally baseless.
Hey, it's totally baseless, where it's always 4:20. We're recording just past. We should record at 4:20 p.m. every day. We're pretty close as it is, but we just maybe just sound like we're high, but we're actually not. My name's John.
We're just old.
Yeah, we're just old. We're just crotchety old men. Yeah, thanks for joining, Dan, and someone that always sounds like he's high, but he's not. How's it going?
I'm doing all right. Always glad to be here.
Yeah, just glad to be somewhere. Just surprised you wake up in the morning. And Dave, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
All right, short
Short but
and
sweet.
eloquent, very concise. But we're gonna get a lot of opinions out of you on these stories. But let's start with a feel-good story about something horrible that's happening. The war in Ukraine still going on, to everyone's surprise, going into its third month. Gotta hand it to the Ukrainians, who are a lot braver, more clever, and persistent than anyone gave them credit for, and that's including down to their dogs, who are also outperforming what's been expected. Patron, a Jack Russell Terrier, has helped the Ukrainian military defuse more than 90 explosive devices since the beginning of the invasion. They say that they'll probably get turned into a movie about this dog. The Ukrainian State Emergency Service rescuers in the city of Chernihiv in northern Ukraine has been making good use of this 2-year-old Jack Russell Terrier.
I think Patreon is kind of like the Dread Pirate Roberts. Maybe there was 89
Yeah.
other patrons before him.
Yeah, right. It's a title. That's a job title, patron.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping the movie that they make about him is not All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
We're going to make a movie about you. What's it called? How does it end?
It's a surprise ending.
Very explosive ending.
As brave as this dog is, I'm betting it was hoping it wouldn't get adopted. You're like, you know what? I'll take my chance at the vet,
Yeah.
What are my options here?
Yeah. What's this job you want to train me for? This smells like an explosive. It's amazing. Dogs can smell anything, apparently. Dogs have been trained to smell like people who have cancer. Yeah. Apparently, the way they know that he sniffs a bomb is that he wets himself.
Then I'm a bomb-sniffing dog. Get me around explosives. I wet myself.
You have that same notification, that same way
Put
of
me next to a bomber in
communicating.
a war zone. Hell yeah.
Dan, Dan's in a war zone. He just wet himself. Yeah.
There's a bomb over there. I'm going the opposite way. I wonder if the other bomb sniffing dogs are jealous. They're like, hey, we're doing the same job. How come this guy gets all the attention?
Because he still has 4 legs.
Because he's still alive.
That's true. They don't mention any other bomb sniffing dogs in this story.
We have one.
The other dogs ran away, huh?
Yeah. One volunteered.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe the only one that's made it this far, up to 90 bombs. If there's any update to this story, we will not let you know, because we want to keep that story positive.
Yeah, he's getting a hero's funeral.
Well, Patron, the bomb-sniffing dog, along with the rest of Ukraine and the US, are just driving Putin crazy. And as revenge against America for helping Ukraine so much, we've given them a whole, what's the right word? Technical word? Crapload of weapons.
I believe so. It's a military term.
Yeah, Putin is looking to get revenge on the US by helping Trump get reelected in 2024. He thinks that will really mess up America. So he might not be too far off on that. On TV, a TV host, Evgeny Popov, on Russian TV, he said the time is coming to again help our partner Trump to become president. And an Americanist, which I guess an expert on America, Malik Dudikov, said, we're trying to feel our way, figuring out the first steps What can we do in 2023 and 2024 to help Trump again become president of the United States?
Really, don't they already know how they did it? It's like, go back and do what you did in 2016.
I mean, they're not even denying it anymore, are they? They're just like, yeah, we did it. Now we're going to troll you.
Yeah. Good friend to Russia. Donald Trump is the way they see it. And also a different Americanist. I love this word, an expert on America.
That means they wear
s-
blue jeans.
So I guess the three of us are Americanists also. We're experts on America. They said that Tulsi Gabbard would be a great vice president candidate. They said maybe Trump will take her as his vice president. This is on Russian TV shows. She's been described as a Russian agent by the Kremlin's propaganda machine since their views seem to align.
I think it's going to be Trump as president, Tulsi Gabbard as vice president, Alex Jones as Secretary of State. That's going to be like the triggering trifecta, right? The right is going to be like happy as pigs and shit, and the left, all their heads are just going to explode.
And that's what'll make them so happy, huh?
Doesn't it make you long for the days of the actual old Cold War where the right wanted nothing to do with Russia, and now they're like completely in bed with them?
Yeah, I know. You always thought Ronald Reagan, everybody was so anti-Russian, and now it's like, no, they're good. They're our buddies. They're
Like, wait a
Tucker
minute.
Carlson, just asking questions. What's wrong with Russia?
Joe McCarthy had it all wrong all this time. I'm like,
Yeah, how many lives were ruined because of
The Red Scare?
Yeah.
There's been a couple of Red Scares, the 30s, and then that was the 50s, yeah?
yeah, now it's like the opposite. Now we love Russia.
When they
Yeah, I
hacked
mean-
for your side, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were going to jail for this. They were getting blackballed, and now it's a thing with the right.
And it's awesome because it's just to own the libs. That's all it is. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Well, it'll make liberals mad. We go with Russia. It's like, really?
You know, all these writers that they called lefty commies were being blackballed from Hollywood. Union organizers in the 30s were being arrested, and now it's just
Yeah, there used to be like informational videos saying how to identify if someone is a communist. They said if you read a book by Karl Marx, they may be a communist. If they support the Soviet, they may be, but if they do all of these things, then they're definitely a communist, and you should report them immediately.
if they listen to Fox News, they
You
may
are
be a
friend of
communist.
Russia.
Yeah, they may be a communist.
I just love now that the war in Ukraine has stalled, his long game is to prank America. That's like, those were his like two options.
I can't have the Ukraine, so I just fuck with America.
Yeah.
He is positioning it, to make himself on the right side of things. As NATO and the U.S. Intervening in their affairs, and they're really fighting against America and not Ukraine.
We were innocently invading another country that we wanted to take over. When you mean Americans,
You had to get
you mean
involved.
NATO's.
We had to stop NATO, the NATO aggression. So we struck first. Strike first and strike fast.
Yeah, it's like Cobra Kai versus
Yeah, there you go.
the West. Yeah.
So Putin's getting his foreign policy now from Netflix shows, which is awesome.
I wonder whose password or whose account he's using to log in. Because since he's been sanctioned, like most college kids using somebody else's account. Well, unfortunately, this isn't the only war that's going on. Governor DeSantis of Florida is also at war with Disneyland and the Disney Corporation. We're not often at the cutting edge of news, but just today, as we're recording this on Friday, April 22nd, Governor DeSantis signed into law that ends a carve out for Disney in Florida so that they can run their business and expand without local interference. They're removing that so that they'll be just like any other company in Florida, as revenge for Disney opposing a Florida Florida law that limits classroom instruction on gender and sexuality, commonly known as the "Don't Say Gay" law. He just signed the bill, and he said, "You're a corporation based in Burbank, California, to make them foreign to Florida, I guess. And you're going to marshal your economic might to attack the parents of my state." I'm adding the emphasis. "We view that as a provocation, and we're going to fight back against that." So it sounds like a very political kind of a move to position himself for a presidential run in 2024.
I would say it sounds very Putin-esque. I mean, actually, it's pretty much DeSantis going mob boss on Disney, isn't it? Because Disney, I think they started withholding political campaign contributions in Florida. So it's kind of a tit for tat, right?
Very, very political in here. Yeah.
Well, he's going full Mayor Joe Quimby, though, because once again, it's this weird attempt like to own the libs and not necessarily do what's best for his state. Like he gets butthurt over people calling him out for being backwards and
I think you called him
racist and
homophobic.
homophobic. So what does he do? You are now my enemy. This guy's just
he's trying to, I don't know, mess with Disney, but yet he's going to end up hurting the residents that live in the 2 counties that benefit from all the money that Disney makes.
All the merchandise.
Everything, the jobs,
those
everything.
hats.
Yeah,
those Mickey ear hats.
But those 2 counties, I think it's Orange County and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Osceola County, are the ones that benefit from Disney being there.
Sure, all the jobs, everything going on, and Disney is actually, and at the same time, Disney is moving 2,000 more jobs from California to Florida. Last summer, they told these employees that they were being relocated to Florida, and as part of that deal, Disney is expected to receive $570 million in tax breaks over 20 years. So this doesn't affect those tax breaks. It just might be something that's for show and doesn't really affect the dollars that Disney's getting, back in support from the state.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just something like he's trying to do to save face. Well, they hurt my feelings, so I'm gonna hurt their feelings. And Disney's like, we still got the money.
Yeah, and I think Disney will win out in the end. I mean, I think they
Disney
got
will
more
still
money.
make lots of money.
Yeah, they got more money behind them. They got.
I just love Disney to go, you know what? Fuck it. We're shutting it down, putting all our money to Shanghai. Have fun with Universal Orlando. Tell me how that works out.
This place is a swamp anyway. We're out.
Is there a Legoland over there in Florida?
There's a cholera land. There's a malaria land. There's
no admission for those.
Gator trainer land. Have fun with those.
Yeah, enjoy the wizarding world of Harry Potter.
Well, then again, though, think about this. Who's a noted transphobe? J.K. Rowling.
There you go.
She's behind all this.
It's all a big conspiracy to get Disney out of the way and have Universal Studios Orlando take the top.
I've cracked the code. J.K. Rowling is in
spell.
bed with Ron DeSantis.
Metaphorically.
Who knows?
Maybe not.
Well, it is a hetero connection, so I guess that he wouldn't object to that.
Birds of a feather. Just saying.
Yeah, it might turn out that those counties end up collecting less tax out of Disney out of this. So yeah, really something for show. And it's not clear what the punishment for Disney is, since they've already expanded so much in Florida. They don't need the zoning and the.
This is kind of almost like all these people that burned their Nike gear to protest Colin Kaepernick. You already paid for it, jackass. You're not hurting his bottom line.
Especially if they went to buy new Nike stuff later on. It's actually good for Nike.
I have to buy some new Nikes to replace my Kaepernick Nikes. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I'm going to buy cheaper ones now.
I'll show you. I'll burn the stuff I already paid for so I can go buy more stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a bunch of more books so I can burn them.
Won't be putting more money in their pockets. Damn it. But yeah, that seems to be Florida's MO. Let's try to fuck people over, but we wind up fucking over ourselves. But damn it, they won't hurt our feelings again.
Yeah, spite's a bitch.
All right, let's move to a state where only good things happen to people. Maryland. A teacher in Maryland won $50,000 from a lottery ticket that her husband bought for her to make her feel better and cheer her up. She was feeling kind of down. She's been a teacher for 18 years. So yeah, she would feel kind of depressed here and there. But she ended up getting $50,000 on a scratch off from her husband as a gift from her husband. So that worked out pretty well for her.
I think it was more like, dude got busted because he went out like to buy like a 6-pack and a bunch of smokes and nudie mags. Like, oh, and I bought you this scratcher, honey.
These are for you.
What else is in that bag?
Some fireworks.
Let me look at that. That won't be necessary.
Just here, you keep the scratcher.
Yeah, right.
These are for you. The rest is for me.
He paid $800 on other stuff and got her $5 in scratchers, and it worked out for him.
But it paid off for him this time.
Definitely did. Well, what is that after taxes? 50,000 depends on what they make. So let's say they got maybe 30 out of it, I guess.
A teacher's salary in Maryland.
So she doubled her salary that year?
Yeah. Unfortunately, goes to show you what teachers get paid in that state.
That's not a capping on teachers. We're saying teachers
it's
should
capping
be
on
paid
Maryland.
more.
Or how much they
in
get
Maryland. and teachers in general, that they should be paid more. It doesn't say what the husband's job is, but maybe he quit his job right away. It's
degenerate gambler.
I was gonna say he's a full-time lotto player.
This is it, honey. This is it. This is the big one.
This is how he makes his income. Winning $10 and $20 ticket.
Yeah, they said they only play like once a year.
Which happens to be the one time a year where they get in that big fight and he goes out to buy some booze.
So
yeah.
So if they only play once a year, maybe they save up their money. So how much did those winning tickets really cost them? I'm just wondering if it paid off, or did he spend
once a year we spend $20,000 on lottery tickets?
Yeah, basically.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, he basically spent a huge sum to win just a little bit more.
Yeah, her arm's still sore from scratching 800 lottery tickets.
I bought $100,000 worth of lottery tickets. One one's gonna hit.
Yeah,
and
I want
50,000.
I don't think you know how this works, good sir.
And $10,005 winners. Yeah, so they say they're gonna use the money for a down payment on a house, thinking we would be ready by the end of the year, but now we don't have to wait, said the elated mother of two.
How much does a house cost in Maryland?
$52,000.
Yeah. I'm moving to Maryland, if that's the case. But once again, how little are teachers paid in Maryland where you have to save up $52,000 to buy a house?
Worked for 18 years and still saving up for a house in Maryland. Yeah. Maryland's not cheap though, right? It's just some very just pricey areas there.
She works in Maryland, but she commutes from West Virginia.
Okay. Well, maybe they could buy a couple of houses then. I don't know. All right. Now back to our main feature for this podcast, Texas. It's all Texas-a-thon. We just happened to find some good stories, a trio of interesting stories that happened in Texas. So it's going to be our Texas Palooza this time. So they say everything's big in Texas, and that includes state troopers, several of which, more than 200, are told that they have to lose weight or face discipline, which could include firing or desk work by the end of the year. Now, if you're over a waist size 40, that's the standard you have to meet. You have to just get under a size 40, which, let's see, I'm 28 or so. So that's a good amount of weight. You're not chasing down too many criminals very far unless they're on crutches. Once you're over waist size 40.
Oh, if you're over 40, you got to slim down. Yeah, you got to slim down to
You can
under
be
a
at
40.
40 and you're
Yeah.
still cool. You're good.
Yeah. I
And
mean, you're still a
women-
fat ass, but
Yeah, but you meet the standard.
yeah.
And this is for women, it has to be 35 inches or less, which I don't know what that equates to for women. Let's do a quick
It
Google
equates to a
search.
question I'm not answering because I don't want to get in trouble with that one.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
What exactly are they measured? What exactly has to measure 35 inches?
It equates to shut your damn mouth if you know it's good for you.
Let's see what Google says. If you're a waist size 40, what weight are you?
Fat.
Well, we
Does a
don't need
picture of Homer
Google for
Simpson
that
show
one.
up?
Okay,
Well,
well,
I-
I look for that. You guys can go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, I read in the article it said that the Department of Public Safety claims that the policy is designed to weed out the fat asses.
Yeah.
Which also makes me wonder how many of their officers are way over this like limit, or you have to institute a policy all of a sudden. You can't just say, "Hey, Joe, you're looking a little sluggish lately." What?
It's more like everybody is looking very sluggish. They're like, okay, we got to do something about it now. No more donuts at the coffee break table. Now, I also read that patrolmen were also part of Greg Abbott's border patrol.
Operation Lone Star.
Yeah. So these guys won't be making any more runs for the border, right? They'll be making these slow walks to the border. As long as the finish line is Taco Bell, though, they'll be good.
I think it sounds like that was the main problem. They were making the runs for the border. Like, I got my chalupa, my enchilito, my Mexican pizza. I'm good.
Yep. So a lot of people are going to have to lose weight. And in totally unrelated news, Dunkin' Donuts stock went down by 12% after this was announced.
Son of a bitch.
No more breakfast tacos.
Oh man, well, that's good for so many reasons.
No more carnitas. Actually, that's what they're calling the hey, carnitas, come here.
That would be a funny nickname, huh? All right. Well, sometimes mistakes do happen. It's not Texas's fault, but of course, it just for some reason it happened in Texas that a woman dressed up as an Easter bunny at an elementary school accidentally. This is for Easter, not just a random woman dressed up in an Easter bunny outfit, but
Oh, I
for,
thought it
for
was a
Easter
furry.
in Austin, handed out plastic Easter eggs that ended up having condoms in them instead of candy. She accidentally handed out the wrong eggs after she had been at a safe sex presentation at a clinic before she went to pick up her daughter at this elementary school.
She would have been a big hit in high school if she went to pick up a high schooler.
Pick up a high schooler or
Well, if she went to pick up her kid and it was in a high school, everybody wants condoms at a high school. Oh, what? Kids don't have sex anymore? Am I saying something that's completely alien to the population now?
Well, I'm just glad it wasn't the other way around, right? She didn't show up to like the safe sex presentation with the basket full of chocolates.
chocolate condoms and
Trying to explain to them how it works. They're like, we're supposed to smear all this all over us? What?
Give it up for sexual chocolate.
yes.
Let's get it on.
Love Jones presents. Yep. She was handing out the eggs with candy. And when she ran out of those eggs, she asked her husband to run back to the car and get some more plastic eggs with the candy inside. But he made a mistake and grabbed some with the condoms inside by mistake. So as usual, it was all the husband's fault, which is the case in my household as well.
If you've ever gone shopping and brought home the wrong fucking carton of eggs, though, you know what happens.
This is
So
a
it's-
very different scale of mistake.
Yeah. You didn't get the free range organic ones.
Too late
Or
to
was
use
this
it.
just really like this lady like covering up for her just actually being some Austin weirdo?
Well, as usual, these days, everything gets hyper politicized. I mean, we can see that this was just an honest mistake. She's trying to do right by one group of people and a different group of people and got them mixed together. But of course, since people are always running for something, this became a political issue. This mistake. George P. Bush, a candidate for Texas Attorney General, called it disgusting and illegal. And he said radicalized leftist parents and school admins are out of control, attempting to exploit our children while in school. As AG, I'll hold school districts accountable for their failures to protect our kids.
I heard he was quoted as saying, please, won't somebody think of the children?
Yeah.
And I beg to differ. This lady was offering protection. So right there, he shot down his entire argument.
He blew his load on the wrong issue here, huh? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe he needed a condom too.
Guy named P. Bush.
Yeah.
This-
Well, not everything has to be a political issue. I think we can all agree that a carjacker got what he deserved when, after beating a 72-year-old woman and taking off with her car, he ended up crashing it just a minute later and ended up getting killed. This guy was very persistent. After beating up on this poor 72-year-old great-grandmother, 3 other guys tried to stop him and fight with him for the keys. He ended up getting away anyway, and then crashing the car and dying inside.
Yeah, that's not karma. That's car great grandma.
Or carjackma.
There you go.
Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, God had to eventually step in, right? Everybody else couldn't do it. So the righteous hand of God came down and
And took him out, huh?
yeah, it probably told Jesus, hey, Jesus, hold my beer. It's go time.
Because the righteous hands of them other 3 dudes wasn't working. So
3 dudes try to jump in. Yeah, it says 3 men tried to tackle the guy, and he still got away.
see, that's what's awesome though, is this guy's probably thinking how badass he was.
I was going to say,
I beat up a grandma. I beat up 3 dudes. Not even God can stop me now.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Wanna bet?
And she even said kind of the same thing. She said, now granted, he had hurt me, but the Lord saw fit to take him out of his misery, which is a great quote.
Actually, at first she's just referring to the car though, because it was a piece of shit apparently.
Yeah. She might end up getting a better car. There's a GoFundMe page to help her get a replacement car. And it's up to $24,000 as of a few days ago. And I think people are cheering for her to get a 700 horsepower Dodge Hellcat.
I was going to say she's probably waiting to get a Tesla Roadster. She wants to put
Founders
down.
edition?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With the anti-theft. It has God intervention as its
Yeah. A little cross hanging from the mirrors, not just for show.
and obviously the police couldn't catch them because, well, they're fat.
Oh.
Some overweight policemen saw the car zoom by, huh? Yeah, an hour later, 3 400-pound policemen.
Waddled up to the crime scene.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that waist size was a little bit more than 40, right?
Yeah.
And said, "Ah, damn." I think it was actually a Krispy Kreme truck that actually crashed into the guy.
Are these for everybody? Can we have some of those? Wipe the blood off the
man.
donuts.
That carjacker guts, it's good for you. It's like menudo. You'll be fine.
It's healthier.
Oh, hey, look at that guy. Hey, look, spilled donuts.
Well,
Oh.
if we've learned anything, it's don't mess with 72-year-old great-grandmothers in Texas.
Or God will strike you down.
Yeah.
That's what those signs mean, right?
Don't mess with Texas.
Yeah.
Because if 4 other people have tried to stop you, that might be your sign that you're not supposed to steal a fucking car.
Yeah. Small indicator.
That guy must have been high on something.
Yeah. All right. Yet another gentle reminder of don't mess with Texas. All right. Thanks for listening this week. More crazy stories and more people doing dumbass stuff next week. Take it easy.
Keep it weird, red states. Keep it weird.
Bye. Happy early birthday, Dan.
Woohoo!